Justice of Nigeria. Governor Yetola expressed his confidence of winning July 16 governor poll in Osun. On the foreign scene, G7 leaders ready to stand with Ukraine in its war with Russia. Good evening, and thanks for joining us on the major reports. I am Olubunmi Ajiboye Agbuola. The resignation of Justice Tanko Muhammad as the Chief Justice of Nigeria has been generating reactions from some members of the bar. Some legal practitioners who spoke with OSBC News on the issue stated that it is necessary for anyone who has the apex court to live above board. OSBC reporter Oluchi Amoda has the details.
The resignation of Justice Tanko Muhammad as the Chief Justice of Nigeria took many by surprise, despite the fact that the jury cited health ground as reason for his decision. His resignation is coming on the heels of allegations leveled against him by some Supreme Court judges. In a protest memo signed by 14 justices of the Apex Court, Justice Muhammad was accused of not giving them their legitimate entitlements. The main issues put forward by the justices in their letter through Welfare Committee included non-replacement of 4 vehicles, subversion of the annual foreign training meant to enhance capacity building for the country's judicial process, accommodation issues, among others. Reacting to the resignation of Justice Tanko Muhammad, a legal practitioner, Mr. David Agbola, said Justice Muhammad has the right to resign his appointment if he feels his health will stand on the way of effectively discharging his duty as demanded.
Through the job and we can cope again. Yeah, the law allows him to resign and tender his resignation letter. You have to be of sound mind, and in terms of health, you have to be up and running. And if you feel by reason of body ailment or anything, you are not able to cope with the rigors of the job, the law allows you to resign, and that's what I feel the CJN has done, and which is very much in line with the law.
Speaking in the same vein, another legal practitioner, Mr. Olufemi Anyodokun, warned that the issues raised by the 14 justices of the Supreme Court should never be swept under the carpet, so as to maintain the confidence of the people in the arm of government considered as the last hope of the common man.
Just recently, the budget of the judiciary was increased by the national. So the question you want to ask yourself is, where are these monies that have not been deployed towards the purposes for which they are meant?
Analysts believe that the last might not have been heard about the entire issue. Oluchi Amuda, OSBC News.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has sworn in Justice Olukayode Ariwola as acting Chief Justice of Nigeria following the resignation of Justice Tanko Muhammad on health grounds. It was learned that Justice Ariwola, who is the most senior justice of the Supreme Court, will act as CJN pending when his name will be sent to the Senate by the President for confirmation as substantive Chief Justice of Nigeria. Justice Ariwola was born on August 22, 1958. He studied law at the University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, and backed his Bachelor of Laws degree with honors in July 1980. In July 1981, Olu Ariwola was called to the Nigerian bar and got enrolled at the Supreme Court of Nigeria as a solicitor and advocate. Justice Ariwola was first appointed a judge of Superior Court of Record in Oyo State in 1992 from private legal practice. Before his elevation to the Supreme Court, he served as Justice of Court of Appeal in Kaduna, Enugu, and Lagos divisions. He was appointed as Justice of the Supreme Court in 2011. He was a Justice of the Court of Appeal between 2005 and 2011, after having been elevated from the State High Court of Oyo State. Residents of Osogbo, capital of Osun State, have commended Governor Adegboyega Oyetola for the progress made so far at the ongoing reconstruction of the 9.8 kilometers Osogbo-Okene-Ilobu-Ifon Road. Those who spoke with OSBC News in separate interviews described the phase the fast pace of work as an indication that the governor is truly committed to the progress of the state. Our reporter Oluchi Amuda completes the story.
Yetola flagged off the rehabilitation of the 9.8 kilometers Osogbo-Okene-Ilobu-Ifon road. Some weeks ago, many saw it as an ambitious project, considering the financial strength of the state, coupled with the fact that it was a federal government road. Governor Yetola had informed Osun people then that the rehabilitation of the road was part of his administration's effort to further raise the bar of infrastructure, enhance standard of living, and set Osun on the path of socio-economic rejuvenation through massive infrastructural developments. He had reassured the citizens that politics would not for any reason hamper governance, as he is committed to completing ongoing projects, initiating new ones, as well as consolidating on his monumental strides when he is returned for second term.
And hope that when completed, the people of the state shall use these roads for profitable business as well as for general social development of the state and the area. I want to seize this opportunity to enjoy the contractor to deploy relevant machinery to ensure that the roads are delivered in record time and in good quality, in line with the conditions of award and quality assurance.
According to him, the need to urgently reconstruct the roads was informed by the avoidable hardship being experienced by the residents of the state plying the roads on a daily basis. Immediately after the flag-off, the government swung into action and ordered the temporary closure of the Lameko-Agumbelo section of the Osogbo-Ilobu-Ifon road in order to replace the inadequate box culvert on the road. OSBC News of the Vision showed that the culvert has been completed and work is already in progress on the road, as some parts have been tarred to the delight of motorists plying the road. Many see the construction of the culvert as a strategic move which will help tackle the menace of flooding in the area. Some residents who spoke with OSBC News said the inadequate box culvert that existed on that road for years had been a source of nightmare for residents of the area, particularly during rainy season, as most parts are often submerged in water. They described the widening of the culvert as a great relief for them, which will curb the flooding menace in the area. This is just as the equally commended Governor Yetola for honoring his words.
This road has been a very bad road before, and we are not happy the way it was before, but now that the government has started work here, we appreciate the government and we want the government to, finish what they have started.
Yes, it helped a lot because according to rain erosion here, you can see that it damages many things here. But according to this governor now, he tried to reconstruct the bridge by doubling it. So it helps a lot.
They called on all residents of the state to support Governor Adegboyega Oyetola for the continuity of his life-changing policies that have put the state at the right pedestal. Oluchi Amuda, OSBC News.
Of the July 16 gubernatorial election in Osun State, residents and political leaders in Odo-Otte local government area have hailed the leadership and financial ingenuity of Governor Adegboyega Oyetola, describing him as the shining light of Osun politics. They also reaffirmed their collective commitment to ensure Governor Oyetola's re-election, saying any other agenda will plunge Osun into darkness. This is as the campaign committee of the All Progressives Congress in Ifelodun, Boripe Odo-Otte Federal Constituency continued its strategic consultation in Okuku, Igbayi, and Faji communities of Odo-Otte local government area. The chairman of the Ifelodun, Boripe Odo-Otte Federal Constituency Campaign Council, Chief Poju Odushola, charged the residents to brace up for Oyetola's re-election projects to ensure that Osun continues to benefit from dividends of democracy. Also speaking, Special Advisor to Governor Oyetola on Water Resources and Energy, Engineer Adeniran Ibitoye, said no matter the number of political parties and candidates aspiring to the office of the governor, only Oyetola and APC are able to deliver quality governance that meets the actual needs of the people. Similarly, the chairman of the All Progressives Congress in Odo-Otte local government, Mr. Jimo Asa, described the governor as a transformer that has illuminated virtually every sector of the state's economy. In the same development, Osun State Governor Adegboyega Oyetola has said he would emerge victorious in the July 16 governorship elections and that defeat is never an option for him in the contest. According to the governor, various efforts his administration had put into the development of the state would make the victory at the poll a landslide. The governor said this while addressing members of the Nigerian Incorporated Electronic Practitioners Osun State chapter during an engagement meeting organized by the Civic Engagement Office in Osogbo. Oyetola, who was represented at the meeting by a special advisor on civic engagement, Mr. Olatubosan Oyintiloye, said campaign of calumny by the opposition parties against his administration would not stop his victory. He added that the landslide victory recorded by the All Progressives Congress for its candidates in Ekiti governorship election will be replicated in July 16 election in the state. The governor also assured the electorate of not letting them down during his second term in office, adding that his mission in politics was service to humanity. He said the laudable achievements his administration had achieved in all sectors in the state will be consolidated on when re-elected. Governor Adegboyega Oyetola, however, urged the electorate to get their permanent voter cards to support him in the coming election. In his remarks, the chairman of the association, Mr. Olusegun Atoyebi, commended the governor on his various developmental projects across the state. Governor Adegboyega Oyetola and the structures of the Osun All Progressives Congress are set to welcome 10,423 members of the People's Democratic Party into the ruling APC tomorrow. The former PDP members, whose numbers cut across different wards, local government areas, and federal constituencies of the state, will be formally received into the ruling party at the Freedom Park, Osogbo, the state capital. This is as Governor Oyetola described the massive defection into the ruling party as signaling the dawn of a new day to the APC in the state. The governor urged citizens and residents of the state to unite for the common cause of lifting the state. In his reaction, Osun APC chairman Prince Gboyega Famodo said the defectors have made the right choice for their political sojourn and in the interest of the state. The chairman of the defectors care committee, Right Honorable Timothy Oweye, who is also the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, described the mass defection as another historical feat recorded by Governor Oyetola. Expected at the historic event are chieftains of the party at all levels, including national officers of the party from Abuja, led by Otumba Iyola Omishore, the National Secretary. In a bid to engage political stakeholders and facilitate candidate-citizen discussion, the Osun State chapter of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations will organize a stakeholders forum tagged Omoluabi Convergence. The summit, which holds tomorrow morning, is entitled Sustaining Our Values Beyond Elections. The forum will have the presence of all the gubernatorial candidates of each political party in the state, as well as all core stakeholders who will be thrilled on an educational discourse. The guest speaker is Dr. Segun Aina, while UNILAG Emeritus Professor of Sociology and former INEC National Commissioner, Professor Lai Olurode, and the resident electoral commissioner in Osun State, Professor Abdulgani Raji, will serve as discussants. The chairman of Osun NIPR, Mr. Ademola Adesoji, in a statement released, emphasized the need for the convergence and added that the forum will focus on how the candidates intend to sustain the cherished peace of the state. He also made known that the chapter would be partnering with different non-governmental organizations to organize the Peace Summit. Nigerian Army has announced the commencement of the screening exercise for all successful applicants into its 83 regular recruits intake nationwide beginning from tomorrow. This is contained in a release by the Secretary to the State Government, Prince Wole Oyebamiji. Consequently, all applicants have been directed to check their names at the Nigerian Army Recruiter portal. It further added that the screening exercise, which will cover physical, mental, medical, and academic qualification for all the shortlisted candidates, would commence simultaneously across all the states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and it will last for 2 weeks before final movement of qualified candidates to Belgore Forest, Kano State. All shortlisted indigenes of Osun State are enjoined to go to the screening center at Command Day Secondary School beside Army Barrack, Ede, with their training kits and all other relevant documents, including their local government and state of origin certificates, academic qualification, printed bank verification number, and passport and photo passports, among others. Labour and Employment Minister Dr. Chris Ngige has hinted that President Muhammadu Buhari will soon take a decision on the controversial university transparency and accountant solution and the condition of service for university teachers. To guide the president in taking a decision, the interministerial departments and agencies committees of the federal government returned in their reports on Wednesday. According to Ngige, the report of the committees could bring an end to the 4-month-old strike embarked upon by the Academic Staff Union of Universities. Dr. Ngige dropped the hint in a statement by his ministry spokesman, Olajide Oshundu. The striking lecturers are at war over which payment platform to be adopted in public universities between the government-approved integrated personnel and payroll information system and ASU preferred users. The minister noted that the meeting was with the representatives of the Federal Ministry of Education, Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Budget Office of the Federation, National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission, the Federal Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy, and National Information Technology Development Agency. He explained that the meeting was geared towards accelerating the resolution of the multiple strike actions by ASU, Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, Non-Academic Staff Union of Universities, and National Association of Academic Technologists. Nigerians have expressed concern over the instability of the security network of the country, urging the federal and state governments to put together its security apparatus so as to create a peaceful and conducive atmosphere for the citizenry. Legal practitioners, including Messrs. Soji Oladeji and Bayo Odetunde, made a plea against the backdrop of the call by the Zamfara State Governor Bello Matawali that citizens should take up arms in protecting themselves from any terror attack. Here are the responses.
So to a corner. So, and I think any one individual who have the capacity so to obtain a firearm, the government should allow it. But the law is there. But it's only that when you apply, any person who apply, it is not that the application does not make it automatic that police will give you the license to acquire a firearm or a gun. So there are people who the police will not even allow, despite that, whether they apply or not, because their discretion is very, very important before the license will be given to them.
Unless you are licensed, you cannot carry arm without license. But what is happening in Nigeria now is that insecurity, as a result of insecurity, that's why the governor is clamoring that people should get firearm to defend themselves. It's not good.
You are welcome to our sports segment.
More reactions have been trailing the allegation of
The Super Falcons contingent to this year's African Women Cup of Nations have landed in Casablanca, Morocco. The team is expected to camp in Rabat before their opening match against the Bayana Bayana of South Africa in the same city. Omotayo Adeboduna completes the story.
Nigeria Super Falcons have departed for Rabat, Morocco, ahead of the 2022 African Women's Cup of Nations. The player and the staffs left the Muritala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, today. The delegation comprises of 25 players, head coach Randy Wadron and his American female assistant, Shelley, and 3 Nigerian assistants, and Chijine, Justin Madugu, and Aliu Makwala, as well as medical crew and backroom staffs made the trip. Randy Wadron charges who are looking to win a record extending 10th title in Morocco will face the Bayana Bayanas of South Africa in their opening games on the 4th of July. The competition will run from the 2nd of July to the 23rd. In the meantime, Peter Cech will leave his role as technical and performance advisor at Chelsea at the end of the month. The former Blue goalkeeper took up the role in 2019, marking his return to Stamford Bridge. The 40-year-old spent 11 years as a Chelsea player, winning 13 trophies, including 4 Premier League titles and the Champions League. Cech is the latest person to leave Chelsea following the club's takeover by the consortium led by American businessman Todd Boehly. Like Cech, chairman Bruce Box will step down on the 30th of June, and last week, Chelsea also confirmed the departure of director Mariana Granovskia. Meanwhile, world number 2, Ons Jabeur, breezed into the second round at Wimbledon with a straight-set victory against Swedish qualifier Mirjam Brocklund. The Tunisia third seed beat their opponent 6-1, 6-3 to make the ideal start to the championship. Jabeur had withdrawn from the Eastbourne International prior to Wimbledon with a knee injury, but she showed no sign of struggling with the issue as she took just 53 minutes to secure the win. She rose to a career height, second in the world ranking after she reached the quarterfinals at the Wimbledon last year, seeing off Venus Williams and Gabin Muguruza before falling to world number 1 Iga Swiatek. She comes into the tournament in a strong form, having won the German Open earlier this month. Omotayo Adebodun, OSBC News.
While on the foreign scene, the leaders of G7, composed of the world's wealthiest democracy, have promised to stand with Ukraine for as long as it takes amid the ongoing invasion by Russia. The leaders, who met for a second day of a summit in a German castle in the Bavarian Alps, said in a joint statement they will continue to provide financial, humanitarian, military, and diplomatic support to Ukraine. They also pledged to continue sustaining and intensifying international economic and political pressure on the government of President Vladimir Putin and its enablers in Belarus. Reports say the leaders from Britain, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, and the United States released the statements after hearing from Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky via a video link. Mr. Zelensky gave a very clear response that now is not the time for negotiation with Russia. In the joint G7 statement, the leaders pledged to explore new ways to isolate Russia from participating in a global market and crack down on invasions. And that ends the major report on OSBC TV. It was edited by Kayode Adebayo. I am Olubomi Ajiboye Agbola. Thank you for watching. Good night.
Innocent dé pẹ̀lú eré alárinrin White Flower. Bí ẹ ti mọ̀ pé a fẹ́ràn yín, la ṣe pinnu láti ṣe àfihàn White Flower eré òde òyìnbó sí èdè Yorùbá fún ìgbádùn yín. Agbẹjọ́rò Dante Cruz àti aya rẹ̀ ló ṣèkúngẹ́ ikú òjì lọ́wọ́ àwọn agbanipa látàrí ẹ̀rí ìwà àjẹbánu èyí tí ó ń tọpinpin lórí gómìnà Julio Andante àti ọmọ rẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n orúkọ ọmọ wọn Lily yọ ní ọjọ́ náà. Ta ló pa mòfin ọ̀hún? Kí ni padàbọ̀ Lily sílùú Andante? White Flower yóò mọ̀ wá sójú ìwòran yín lórí ìkànnì ST Yorùbá lóṣù karùn-ún yìí láti ọjọ́ Ajé sí ọjọ́ Ẹtì dédé aago 8 àṣálẹ́ lórí ìkànnì táwa yìí. ST Yorùbá ọmọ káàárọ̀ ojíire.
It is our duty that we owe to our great dear motherland to enhance her and to boost her in the eyes of all the world. Egalitarianism is our national watchword. Equality of good fortune must be to each sure reward. Liberty and brotherhood are the goals for which we'll strive, plus progress, plus plenty, and all the good things of life. Up, up, Nigeria, and take thy rightful place. It is thy birthright and thy destiny, Africa's leading light to be.
Agbẹ́dẹ́gbẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ o. Sílẹ̀, bàbá wọn ká tán délẹ̀ o. Mi ò ní lọ síbi kan, bàbá wọn ká tán délẹ̀. Adókẹ́ wọ́de sí i. Èwo ni kó ló bá torí mo fẹ́ fọ́mọ yín. Èwo ni ti wàrà tó bí sá torí mo fẹ́ fọ́mọ yín. Wọ́n bí mi mo túra bí èmi gangan lábí sọ́lá mo bọ́lá bí mo jí bọ́lá mo fẹ́ sọ̀kọ̀ bọ́lá ti tó. Sílẹ̀ màá bá wọn ká tán délẹ̀. Kó ló bá. Eléré ò dá o, sí ṣáàzù dá. Mo léléré ò dá o, sí ṣáàzù dá. Àwọn kan bẹ nílẹ̀ yìí, ojoojúmọ́ ló ń ṣọmọ wọn gbóná jù sí ṣáàzù lọ. Orúkọ tèléré ni la fi mọ̀ wọ́n káàkiri. Ẹ̀bẹ̀ ni mo bẹ̀ yín o. Ìdọ̀bálẹ̀ mi máa re ẹjẹ́ ń fẹ́ ìyàwó mi o. Sílẹ̀, bàbá wọn ká tán délẹ̀ o. Mi ò ní lọ síbi kan, bàbá wọn ká tán délẹ̀. Adókẹ́ wọ́de sí i. Èwo ni kó ló bá torí mo fẹ́ fọ́mọ yín. Èwo ni ti wàrà tó bí sá torí mo fẹ́ fọ́mọ yín. Wọ́n bí mi mo túra bí èmi gangan lábí sọ́lá mo bọ́lá bí mo jí bọ́lá mo fẹ́ pòfẹ́sọ̀ kọ́gbọ́n láti tó sílẹ̀ bàbá wọn tá tán délẹ̀ kólóbá kólóbá. What matters to me is to become a sugar. I will do what they say. What matters to me is to love her forever. I will do what they say. What matters to me is to love her forever. Oh, I will do what they say. Sílẹ̀, bàbá wọn ká ló délẹ̀. Mi ò ní lọ síbi kan, bàbá wọn ká tán délẹ̀. I don't care what they say. Kólóbá kólóbá, orí mo fẹ́ fọ́mọ yìí.
akọni obìnrin akọni obìnrin akọni obìnrin ọ̀kíndé ọba láwùjọ àwọn ẹyẹ bí kìnìún bá búramúramù ní gbótigbótijù á mètìtì akọni obìnrin ètò kan tí yóò máa sọ nípa akitiyan àwọn akọni obìnrin lẹ́lẹ́kajẹ̀ka yóò máa wáyé níléeṣẹ́ tẹlifíṣàn Ọ̀ṣun OSBC TV channel 32 UHF ní gbogbo ọjọ́ ìṣẹ́gun láàrin agogo 11 ààbọ̀ àárọ̀ sí 12 ọ̀sán akọni obìnrin àti róbìnrin tó sàárẹ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè àgbáyé rí ọbabìnrin ilẹ̀ Gẹ̀ẹ́sì ò ṣeé fọwọ́rọ́ sẹ́yìn láwùjọ àwọn akọni kò sígbó pàtàkì táwọn obìnrin ò lè dìmú láwùjọ o a ní wọn lẹ́ka òṣèlú ọrọ̀ ajé àtàmúlùdùn àwọn akọni obìnrin wà lẹ́ka ètò ìdájọ́ akọni obìnrin pọ̀ lọ jàrá lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ ọba àti taládàáni ètò akọni obìnrin tọ̀sẹ̀ yìí àìgbọ́dọ̀ má wò ní ata ó tó iyọ̀ ó dùn ẹ kú ojú lọ́nà o akọni obìnrin. ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ lábẹ́ òfin lètò tí yóò máa sọ ẹ̀tọ́ tí kò wá ní gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ Nàìjíríà rere lábẹ́ òfin ilẹ̀ yìí ẹ̀yin ẹ̀sà ti máa darapọ̀ mátọ́kùn ètò Kẹ́hìndé Ajíbádé gẹ́gẹ́ bí yóò ṣe máa fòbèlè túkọ̀ ètò lórí tẹlifíṣàn Ọ̀ṣun OSBC TV channel 32 UHF ní gbogbo ọjọ́ ìṣẹ́gun Tuesday láago 5:30 sí 6 rọ̀lẹ́ 5:30 to 6 p.m. àwọn tó mọ̀ tìfún tẹ̀dù òfin ni yóò máa kópa lórí ètò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ lábẹ́ òfin ètò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ lábẹ́ òfin tọ̀sẹ̀ yìí atáòtó iyọ̀ ó dùn àìgbọ́dọ̀ má gbọ́ àìgbọ́dọ̀ má wò ní ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ lábẹ́ òfin ètò ẹ̀ka ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń lọ níléeṣẹ́ OSBC TV ní má jẹ́ ó ròyìn rẹ̀ fún ọ yóò sọ kutu wọ̀. Kò dára ká máa fìyà jẹni o láì bófin mu. Ilẹ̀ tọ́ mi, mo fẹ́ lẹ́tọ́ mi lábẹ́ òfin.
I see my people see me. I know my people know me. Nobody to let you make nobody darling. One goes for my people where they take on my shit. Second goes for my people where sabi yo. Three goes for you and me. Oh yeah, goes up. I do this for my people. Do this for my people. Show me love in every way. Show me love in every way. ginger. Ẹ jẹ́ kó ginger ginger. Ẹ jẹ́ kó wọlé. Ẹ jẹ́ kó gbórí wọlé. Ẹ jẹ́ kó ginger. Ẹ jẹ́ kó ginger ginger. Ẹ̀yin ṣálá láyọ̀ mi o. Ẹ̀yin ṣálá ní kí n dúró. Ẹ̀yin ṣálá ní kí n sàn ọ̀lọ́. Ẹ̀yin ṣálá ní kí n kó mọ́lẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin là kórè dé o. Akorede, I am akorede, méjì ti kórede o. You must celebrate, you must jubilate, no time to waste. You are akorede, I am akorede, méjì ti kórede o. You must celebrate, you must jubilate, no time to waste. I see my people, they love my music, they keep on rocking, they know what's up. We carry first, yo, they call me Presido, make nobody darling.
adúmáradán èyí fún jowó ìbàdí àrán ìdí ìlẹ̀kẹ̀ adémídùn kẹ́.
ṣé ọkọ mi yìí ìgbín lẹ́nu ìdọ́kẹ́nu ìdíwájú ni ọmọ ọkùnrin.
tó bá ti fẹ́ kéèyàn mọ̀ nǹkan ó mọ̀ sọ fún mi nítorí ẹ̀kọ́ mi ló máa bá ṣe jíròrò ní ìlú ọ̀rẹ́ àwọn ìbájú ìlú mi fẹ́ ṣe ìgbà fún mi ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ tí mo máa sọ ẹ̀yìn ọpọlọ mi ẹ̀yìn orí mi tí mo fi ń ronú tí mo fi ń ṣe gbogbo ìgbà tí mo ṣe.
báyà mi bá bínú máa bẹ̀bẹ̀ kó má bínú àgbèrè bí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mí